Hey, what's up? This is Steve Cardenas, aka Rocky the Red Power Ranger, and Jeff Brazos, French Fernandez Mercer from Untitled Chapter, and you are watching Team Venom.
Hello everybody, this is referee Ben Robbins from Team Venom Media, and this is the Power Rangers Venom podcast, and I am here today with Rory Bailey.
Hello.
I'm also here with Cali.
Hello.
I'm also here with Guy. How are you doing?
Hello. Good time, matey. How's yourself?
Yeah, good, thank you. So I believe we're going to start off with obviously a bit of an event that I went to yesterday, which is MCM, and then we're going to move on to talk about some Hasbro, and then we're going to move on to you guys are all going to an event coming up as well in November, isn't it?
Also for MCM, yeah. So
also for MCM.
Lots of convention-y stuff to chat about, especially Power Rangers related. I know obviously the London one wasn't that Ranger-centric for you because I don't think there was anyone there from the cast, was there? So.
No, there's no one there, unfortunately.
But what was your experience with MCM London?
So yeah, I did MCM London this weekend. I did the Saturday. It's my first time doing the press and that. And yeah, I nearly got kicked out of Comic Con, which was awesome. So a long story short, I had a security guy. He came up to me and said like, "Oh, if you want to go through to this area, you can. You got your press pass." And I was like, "Yeah, brilliant." So I went wandering in, and do you know when you instantly know you shouldn't be somewhere? I had this feeling like I just knew this wasn't right, and then I suddenly saw Tom Hiddleston come out, Loki, and walking out in front of his team. So I whipped my camera out and I was filming, because yeah, this is brilliant. And then as soon as I stopped filming, there was this angry PR lady, and she was just like come marching over to me, and she went to grab me, and she was fuming like, oh, I was terrified, and the whole time she was shouting at me, my camera slowly went in my pocket. I folded my hands, and she marched me back over to security, and obviously they admitted they'd let me in the wrong area. But so luckily I got to keep the footage and I did get kicked out. But yeah, she was gunning for me.
Nasty woman.
Oh, it was amazing.
So obviously you spoke to a load of guests. I know you've got loads of videos that are going to come up on your channel, The Lost World of Movie Props. Who was your favourite guest to chat to?
Well, David Hayter was there, because he was one of the writers for the Scorpion King, and I'm a massive, obviously, Dwayne Johnson fan. And luckily I got the first question, so I asked him what was his experiences like writing for the Scorpion King, and he just went straight into this whole like story how he rewrit all that, because it was quite modern, so he took it back to the old ages, and they called him in to help do the finish, and he was the one who gave him the idea the Rock climbs for his bow and pulls the arrow out his back, and he did all the actions, and he was just selling it to all of us in the room, and everyone was just smiling and enjoying. But there was so many really good talks in there, but it was nicely organized. Everyone got to ask a question before they opened the floor, so it wasn't just one person dominating the whole thing, even though I tried to at every moment.
Did he do his Solid Snake voice?
Yes, he did.
Nice.
There was quite a few gamers in there, and they said, "Oh, do you remember this when you did his Solid Snake's voice?" And he just kept dropping into characters. He did his Captain America voice as well. So he did the voice of Captain America. It was sick.
Oh, I can imagine. Who else did you meet? I know I saw you were at like some conference for an upcoming TV series. It was called or something.
Yes.
ARGH.
Yeah, that was really interesting, because the director, he's basically built this miniature set in his living room, and he's done it all with like these little Warhammer figures. And he's done this whole series and that, but then he's got all these actors like my friend Details from Star Wars and that. He was there. and he's sort of superimposing their faces onto all the little characters and create this whole little series with all the. It looks awesome. I think they're saying about Netflix for it maybe. So yeah, it could be a really good one to watch out for. But I've also got to walk around the convention with my mate Details, and he was in like the last 4 Star Wars films, and he was in an R&B group called MMA. They
Nice.
did that song. I got a little something for you.
I remember that song.
Yeah, they did that. So it was awesome. And I got to hang around for a bit, and it was just a really good day. It was so organised as well. All the artists in the artist alleyway all had their own booths. You weren't just on tables, and it was just so busy. Everyone was dressed up. There was just people having fun everywhere. I mean, everyone was COVID safe, and there was none of that whole nonsense. Like people were in masks or they weren't, and just everyone was hugging and saying hi to each other. It was just it was just a normal event again.
That's nice to hear.
So would you definitely recommend Comic Cons in general to the general public?
Yeah, I think Comic Cons are brilliant. Just you get to meet like your heroes and actors, and I mean, I got to meet Jason Momoa at one, and I literally I met him coming out a corridor bit and got a cheeky selfie in, but he was just so happy to meet the fans, and like all the guests are, they just want to meet the people and talk to them, and you can make friends there on the day. I used to go up to Comic Cons and shows on my own, and you just meet people and make new friends, and it's always good fun. I always recommend it.
I'm going to have to, because that's just reminded me of something, so I'm going to have to throw out a quick shout to my mate James Allen Toundry. Toundry, if you're watching this, I hope to bump into you at a future Comic Con. Toundry's someone that I met about over a decade ago on Facebook, just like some random Facebook chat group. Pally bumped into each other at 5 cons. Never arranged to meet or anything. We bumped like back in 2013, I want to say. We were walking. I was walking around the area outside the Earl's Court Comic Con for Showmasters, and I just heard a very confused voice go, "Rory?" I turned around, I was like James. I was like, "Yeah." It's just like really bizarre, and it's happened like 5 times in various ones across the country. Another weird one. Cali, you both know Tony Chilton, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I bumped into her in Wales at a Comic Con. Haven't seen her for about 20 years. That's the only place I've seen her in the last 20 years was in Wales at a Comic Con.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. But it's great. Like Ben saying, it's just the sort of communities there are awesome, and the cosplay things are great. And I think this is a key time for us to announce wonderfully that myself, Guy, and Cali have all got press for the November N.E.C. MCM Comic Con, which we're all very much looking forward to.
Oh, I am super excited for that because, little confession time, this Comic Con that I'm going to is my first Comic Con that I'm going to.
Way.
So I'm
Cali.
using my Comic Con V plates. Woohoo!
Isn't it your first one as well, Guy?
Yeah, thanks for seeing that, Cali.
Is it together?
So, Team Venom Day out.
Rory's going to break you guys in.
Well,
You're going to have a long day.
Jesus, I'll bring some lube.
Oh,
I don't carry
expect that sort of comment from Paul.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, that came out of nowhere.
Always does.
But, yeah, Comic Cons in general are great. MCM's been awesome. At the moment, there's only 2 guests announced, which are both awesome guests. It's Hayden Christensen, who played Anakin Skywalker in the Star Wars prequels, and the upcoming Obi-Wan and Ahsoka series, because that's been announced this weekend that he's in Ahsoka.
Oh, wow, cool.
So,
didn't know that.
A big name. And then the other guy that's been announced is Ian McDiarmid, who is
You mean Ian McDermott?
Emperor Palpatine. Pardon?
You mean Ian McDermott?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, you know, that guy.
That guy.
Good.
So, old Sheevy Palpatine.
Palpatine.
So Palpatine and Anakin are the only 2 people that have been announced for the Birmingham one.
Oh, cool.
And
Every
I'm
time I've
fanboying.
gone, they've had about 70, 80 guests or whatever. So I'm fully expecting there to be loads of announcements now that London's finished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
What-
for people watching this, if you're a fan of the show and you're going to the NEC for the Comic Con on the 13th and 14th of November, keep an eye out for us. We'll be wearing these sorts of shirts. Obviously, guys will be a different colour, so will Cali's. And I'll also
Look for the logo.
and I'll
Look
also
for
be
the logo.
happy to ignore any fan that talks to us.
Whereas I'll be the good guy and talk to everyone.
Oh, I will say it.
Same here. I'm only joking, but yeah,
No, you're not.
I'm really looking for. I know. I'm really looking forward to it, especially because I want to ask Anakin how he feels about sand, and I want to ask Ian if he knows any, if he did any research prior to the Rise of Skywalker. In fact, when he found out that Rey was his granddaughter in the character, if he pictured Palpatine going, "Do it," on the night that Rey's parents were conceived.
Good.
Get it out there. I'm genuinely going to try and ask those. But
I can feel your anger.
so
That's the anger you're feeling.
let's swing it back to Power Rangers. We're 15 minutes into a Power Ranger podcast, and it's just dawned on me we've not mentioned them once.
No.
But so Saturday was Ben in London. Friday was the Hasbro PulseCon, which Cali, you got loads of images of because you were
Yeah, I
sharing them with us,
realised
which was
that.
great. I watched the Dino Fury panel, which was awesome.
Yeah.
I also tried to watch the Boom Studios comic panel, and that was literally just like 5 minutes of them going, "Yeah, we're doing the Eltarian War next. That's the next crossover that we're doing."
Mm.
That was it. That was the whole panel.
Oh.
It's just like,
Bit
Yes, guys.
anticlimactic, that then, isn't it?
that could have been a tweet.
Yeah, that could have been a tweet.
That's
Hey,
the
we're
bit
doing
I
a thing.
saw. I saw that bit and I was like, is that it? Like, what? I was like,
Wow.
Oh dear.
But we do get Zordon in like battle armor and stuff, which is a bit strange. But
Yeah, cross between
Yeah.
Mr. Freeze and Iron Man, and not in a good way.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm still on the fence with that.
Yeah, same.
I mean, it looks awesome and everything. But my biggest gripe with them doing things like this in the comics, like they've had that powered up Green Ranger running around
Yeah.
in the comics now, where it's more like the Bat in the Sun version, and like, well, the comics are supposed to be canon along with the series, but if you were to read Shattered Grid, which
I've just
leads
finished.
into season 3, sort of, because it's set somewhere in between season 2 and season 3. So you read that and you're like, well, this is awesome. But then all their technology just drops when it gets back to like the next week in canon.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, Cali, take us through the toy news because there was some great stuff.
Oh God, right. Let me just grab my phone because
You've got your
can't-
notes.
I can't sign into Instagram on my computer for some reason. It's been a pain in the ass. So give me a minute. And I will
Okay.
go.
Good.
While you do that, me, Ben, and Guy will talk about Dino Fury if you like, because I caught that.
Go,
man.
go for it. It should only take me a second.
I was going to
Okay.
say something about Zordon and his new,
Oh yeah, sorry, Ben. You go.
obviously his like space looking wardrobe thing he wears now.
It's Cosmic
I had,
Ghost
like-
Rider costume.
Yeah, I just thought they could do a really good twist with that because he's mobile now. He's out and about. He could get sucked back into a time warp and go back in time to when he was actually a ranger himself, and maybe stop himself getting like they could do something. The fact that he's more
Rewrite
mobile.
the
They,
entire canon.
yeah, it
Yeah.
could be something to it more than just him being able to kick ass sort of thing again. I
I
think
think
they
what
could.
would be really cool, kind of bouncing off of Ben's idea, there would be it just kind of sparked in my head when you said it, sort of almost like DC Flashpoint,
Yeah,
where it's the same universe, but there's just different subtle differences. Like, Batman was Thomas Wayne rather than Bruce Wayne, that kind of thing.
Joker was Martha, which
Yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah.
they
Awesome.
could flip the canon on its head, like, I don't know, make Kimberly the next Rita
yeah.
or something, really kind of play with it. But yeah,
I dunno.
Instagram posts. I'm trying to get to it.
I don't know. I think I still prefer the idea of Zordon being a head in the glass tube.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Traditionalist if you want. But
Okay, then. So,
you got him.
yep. Starting in order is the reveal for the next stage of the Lightning Collection helmets. If anybody out there is collecting those, this is the next one to look out for, and it is Lord Zed. And I was quite surprised by that fact, considering the last three have been, I think it was the Red Ranger, the White Ranger, and the Pink Ranger.
Yeah.
So you'd think they're going to round off the Ranger team, and then for them to reveal this one, and it looks show accurate. It looks like a prop that would have been used in the show.
Yeah.
So it just looks awesome. For anyone out there listening or watching, feel free to track down these images because they're awesome.
I think that's quite a smart move.
Pardon?
I think that's quite a smart move because then they can release some more of those and then bring out the rest of the Ranger ones. Like, it's going to keep people watching and
yeah, because everyone's like, come on, I want that frigging Green Ranger one to fit around my set out or whatever. And that comes like 3 season series in.
Yeah, I must
Makes
admit,
sense.
that's kind of the one thing I like about the Lightning Collection on a whole is that you don't get a full set of Rangers with every kind of wave that they release. Like you look at the very first wave, it was Lord Zed, the White Ranger,
Drakman,
Red Dino Charge, and a couple of others. And then as the waves and the line went on, they got different Rangers, different teams. So if you wanted to build an entire Ranger team, you've had to wait a couple of years. So
it's paid off because now you've got them in the background and they look awesome.
Exactly. It's I'm helping Hasbro sell product here.
Hasbro, if you're watching, please sponsor us and send us all the free stuff.
Speaking of the figures, there's actually been quite a lot of figures announced. They've announced the Dino Fury Red Ranger.
Yeah.
Dino Fury, I think, or Dino Charge Pink Ranger.
It was Dino Charge, yeah, because it's the one from a few seasons ago.
A Ranger that I completely don't recognize. He's silver and blue and looks like a dog.
Lunar Wolf Ranger from Wild
There
Force.
we go. I didn't watch SPD, so out of my
That was Wild Force, though.
yeah. And a cog from.
Cog looks great, to be fair. You see, he's got the removable face.
Yes, that does look really cool. In way of monsters for the Lightning Collection, big announcement: Parantis head.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes, I wasn't expecting that one, and when I seen it, I was like, "Oh wow, I really like the colours on that one." So yeah. Also in that wave as well is going to be the SPD Blue Ranger. No, sorry, the In Space Blue Ranger
with the glider as well, isn't it?
Yes, with the glider. Oh, sorry.
Is the glider included?
Yeah.
It's part
That's
of
it, like a deluxe thing that they're doing.
Yeah, deluxe box
For the
set.
price, it bloody should be.
I don't know if you'll be able to see it on my camera, but kind of there. Look.
Nice.
You'll have to talk, Cali, because it's not
There you
flicking back
go.
to you
Hopefully
otherwise.
you can see it. I don't know if you can see it, but there it is.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Next, this one I've got to try and show off.
Yeah, that looks great.
Oh, that is
the Megazord that they've announced. I have seen some other rumors online. It's not confirmed though, so just take it as a rumor that they are actually doing a standard colorized version of that figure. So
Okay.
you're gonna get it in the black and gold, kind of paying homage to the Bandai Legacy one that was released a couple of years ago. And they're also doing a standard colorized version of it. So that's something to look forward to. A Megazord at last.
Nice.
And of course, get a guy's absolute favorite,
Yes, my boy.
Pudgy Pig.
Pudgy.
He's been announced, and that's it in the way of.
Wasn't there Finster as well?
Finster was announced quite a while ago.
Okay, fair enough. I only knew that from your post to us in the message.
Yeah,
oh, look at what's just been announced. Like, wow, Finster.
Basically, they're showing off the final in-package shots of Finster. Basically means after, I think it's come January, he will be in stores.
Fair enough.
But those ones, I think they are slated for June, July next year.
Yeah.
So we got quite a wait, but as I said, building up a Power Rangers Lightning collection for a specific team. I've got nearly all Mighty Morphin, apart from Ranger Slayer. So it takes a long time to build it up. And I see people complaining online that, it's only been going like 3 years and already it's like nearly 150 figures deep. And it's like, well, you're covering a lot of different characters. a lot of
Yeah.
different seasons, and each season has up to 12 main characters.
Yeah.
Of course,
And
there's
then there's
gonna be
all
a lot
the
of characters.
yeah. You got your villains, you've got your ancillary characters, you've got your cannon fodder, like the putties and stuff for each season. Yeah,
army builders and stuff like that. Yeah, so it's understandable why Hasbro do it the way they do it, and I haven't got a problem with it.
no.
So for the big Zord that's coming out, has it given a sizeage on that? So is it going to be an action figure size, or is it actually going to be a massive Zord size?
As far as I'm aware at the moment, they haven't confirmed size details as of yet.
Yeah.
The general kind of consensus that I've been hearing is that it's going to be like the Unicron and the Rancor for Star Wars and things like that, where it's through HasLab.
Yeah.
And if it gets so many backers, you get one, and that will be a certain size. But I think if it's going to get a general release, which fingers crossed it does, as Rory was talking about it the other week, it will probably be in scale with the deluxe box set monsters that you buy. So it will be 7 to 8 inches tall, give or take. Not confirmed, just rumor.
And as us lads all know, 7 or 8 inches. Yeah, big.
Just read something amazing.
Well,
that Lightning Collection Lord Zed helmet, right?
Yeah.
Has a squishy top for the brain.
Oh, nice.
And a voice changer.
Yes, I forgot about that. That was mentioned.
You know, I'm going to be dropping some serious cash on that, and just not tell you guys. I'm just going to.
Oh yeah.
We'll start an episode. I'll just be sitting there like.
If we all get them, we can all do an episode of all of us wearing them and talking the same way.
That'd be amazing.
That's
Spotify listeners will be confused as fuck.
Yeah. People on Spotify are like, who's talking now? Just sound like one person just droning on for 45 minutes.
Whereas the YouTube viewers will be like having to go through previous videos to find out like who's got what backgrounds and stuff. I like it. That's some decent view retention there.
Well, when I find a pre-order site for that Lord Zed helmet, I'm clicking pre-order. I don't care.
Have they given a price range it might be in? Or is it just too early still?
Same as the other Lightning Collection helmets. It all varies on site. Most places like do the Pink Ranger helmet that came out a couple of months ago. Most places do that anywhere from about 65 quid up to about 90 quid. So it all depends on the site. So shop around is the best thing I can say. Common sense really with Lightning Collection or anything. Shop around, get the best price, but also look for the best seller as well. You don't want to just go, oh yeah, that one's cheap, order it, arrive and it's like a plastic kid's Halloween mask.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, shop around. Hopefully it shouldn't be too much, but I wouldn't say any more than about 100 quid in the UK.
I'm loving this. Loving this consumer info with Team Venom.
Yep.
Hasbro, again, if you're watching this, send us all the freebies.
Yes. We're yes. The fucking arse off here. Helps out.
Yeah.
Let
us do a panel at your next Hasbro Pulse. We'll do this podcast live on it.
Oh, shit, yeah. Hey, I'll tell you what, right? If we got press with them and they said, yeah, you can come and do it live, I'd be down for that shit. Yeah, I really would. I'd be like, yeah, I'll join you. Come on.
Yeah, I'm in.
Is that everything from the toy side of things, Cali, or was there more?
In way of Power Rangers, at the moment, yes.
Yeah, I know they covered like all sorts of other things and stuff on there.
Hasbro tend to save their really big, like, this is what is coming reveals for Toy Fair.
Yeah.
Takes place back end of February, March kind of time next year.
Yeah.
So when that rolls around, obviously I'll cover all that news then.
Fair enough. Well, I've got the cliff notes here for the Dino Fury panel, which was quite enjoyable. They had all 6 Rangers out there.
Wow.
So all of them came out on stage to do the panel. They gave loads of little stories about how they came together and that sort of thing. Yeah. And they spoke about the recreation of Lord Zed, who returned in the first season of Dino Fury for one episode. They spoke at great length about the costume and they fondly remembered the late Robert Axelrod, who was the original voice actor of Lord Zed, who died a few years ago. And I think, have you all seen that episode with the new episode with Lord Zed in?
Yes.
No. La 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 la.
Oh no, Guy, don't worry, we won't spoil the episode. One thing that I noticed was that obviously he's got a much different voice in this.
Mm-hmm.
And when they did the flashbacks and stuff, because they showed like Billy and all that,
didn't they?
They redubbed everyone. So
Yeah.
everyone had a different voice.
No idea why.
I've got an inkling.
Copyright?
No, because they did when they did that Dimensions in Danger crossover a few years back, where JDF turned up and he got all the different powers.
Yeah.
There's a few times where they've said like some seasons are chronologically ahead of previous Ranger teams, like all the way up to the end of the thing where Zordon sacrifices himself in was it Lost Galaxy or In Space or something like that.
Yeah.
Up to that, they were all in continuity with each other, and then certain ones would be like an alternate universe or set in the future and all this sort of thing. And that's why they had them like they did that Dimensions in Danger, where it was like, yeah, they've come from the Dino Charge ones, they've come from the Mighty Morphin dimension, and here's Wes from Time Force, who's actually stepped through a dimensional portal and all that. So I'm thinking this is probably going to be not quite the same one as the original Mighty Morphin, with like a sort of deviation somewhere, so that when because they've announced season 2 was part of this panel, which is other news I would have got to. They've announced that they're doing season 2 exclusive to Netflix, and that starts next year. But Zed's still out there.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that they're going to recruit the original Power Rangers and such, and we get Mighty Morphin there. But obviously, while they've overdubbed everyone on that flashback, is more than likely going to be so that they can have them in suits and use the same voice actors.
Yeah.
Because if like David Yost or someone said, yeah, no, I don't want to come back to it for a one-off episode.
Yeah.
And then they've done it that way to get around it. And you know what I mean? It could be something like that because it's coming up to the 30th anniversary.
It is a possibility. Because I mean, in Beast Morphers, when they did the big crossover with that, and they did flashbacks to previous seasons where they were looking at like, I can't remember the name of the weapon. It was this thing that you shot at somebody's weapon and it recreated them from their weapon. I don't quite get it. So they brought Goldar back as Goldar Maximus. They scanned his sword with this thing and it created a clone of him.
Yeah.
And they showed loads of clips and stuff from different seasons of Power Rangers, and they were all like differently dubbed. So it could just be that reason of if they want to do a crossover, they can have the Rangers, keep them helmeted and just use the same voice actors for the dubs.
Exactly, yeah.
So it
makes sense to do that way.
It makes perfect sense to do it that way around.
Plus, obviously, Beast Morphers is a different dimension to the current to Dino Fury, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Austin St. John's in the Beast Morphers one, so it stands to reason that it may not sound the same in this one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but yeah, so they did that. They announced the Dino Fury season, the second season, which was after the Lord Zed discussion, and they've also shown off the Dino Fury cycle, which is what they're adding to the second season. So they've all got their own little bikes, sort of like what the Power Rangers had for one episode, and in Mighty Morphin, just so that we got toys on the shelf.
Man. I remember when those bikes come out, I was there. Like, I remember pestering to get one of those bikes. Like, I only got the one, but I got one.
I remember having a birthday party in McDonald's, which at that time they had all like big mushroom-shaped chairs and stuff, and a frigging plastic train that you could sit in to eat your burgers and stuff. I had a birthday party there. They blocked it off. They got a clown and everything. The clown passed the GIF over, opened it up. Black Ranger on a cycle. Yes.
While we're on the subject of conventions and whatnot, kind of swinging it back around to...
We got more. Yeah.
Well, kind of. Got to mention, completely forgot about it until I literally went, shit, that's a thing. The Power PulseCon, the actual official Power Rangers convention.
Is that still happening?
They're taking bookings, apparently, for 2022.
Oh, okay. Is that the one in the UK or...
Doesn't say from the information I'm looking at the moment. It literally just says.
Oh, no, I've just had a look. Pasadena, so no.
Yeah.
thing
But
is, Power
still, at
Morphicon,
least it's happening.
well, they brought it to the UK a few years ago. That's why do you remember I had the story about Steve Cardenas, Johnny Young Bosch, and all that?
Yeah.
I can't remember if I told it on the podcast or if we've had it in just private converstions and stuff. But
I think you probably have mentioned it a couple of times.
well, I'll mention it again. It's a great story.
Go for it. Go on.
for our new viewers or listeners. Yeah, I had the night out with Too Cool, Grandmaster Sexay and Scotty Too Hotty, former WWF Tag Team Champions. And while they were doing like photo shoots for general public in a bar in Birmingham, and the Power Morphicon in the UK had taken place that weekend, and we were in Walkabout. It was probably about midnight-ish, something like that at that point. Steve Cardenas, Johnny Young Bosch, Bulk and Skull, Paul Scryer and Jason Narvey came in, and then we ended up drinking with them all and stuff, and various people were coming and going throughout the evening. Mine's a bit blurry myself about how the evening finished, but I do remember Grandmaster Sexay parading around with no top on to right said Fred, and and I remember us all racing. I remember myself and Scotty and Brian with Jaeger bombs and stuff at one point. That's where it goes, Hazy.
Surprised.
And I remember seeing a photo a couple of days later and being gutted because I've got selfies like with Steve Cardenas, Johnny Young Bosch, and Paul Scryer and Jason Narvey from that event.
Oh, wow.
And after I'd left, they were joined by Nakia. I can't pronounce the surname, so I'm not going to. But basically, the Yellow Turbo Ranger, who was also the Yellow Zeo Ranger, Tanya.
Oh, yes.
So she'd been there later in the evening. I completely missed it.
Oh, that's a shame.
Sad times.
Bad fucking times. Yeah, but I'd love to go to one of those. The actual official Power Rangers convention. Going to a Comic Con is cool and everything, but I think going to the actual proper Rangers convention. So
yeah, now if they've started doing that again,
I think that should be the next goal for us, like as a channel. When it comes to the UK again, we got to go.
I'm pretty sure that's the last time it was in the UK, which was sadly like 2014, 2015. Because that was when Steve Cardenas was like, oh yeah, I was talking to him because CM Punk had just left WWE.
Yeah.
And CM Punk and Jason David Frank have been going back and forth on Twitter a lot and in interviews. And basically, CM Punk was saying about how he wants to get into MMA, and Jason David Frank was like, I'll fight him. And CM Punk was like, oh yeah, he won't be able to lace up my boots and all this sort of stuff. And CM Punk eventually got to UFC and had his first fight and got knocked out in like 2 minutes. Whereas Jason David Frank's had like a really storied MMA career and has never lost. So like, yeah, Punk, yeah, you'd really knock him out.
I want to see that.
The tail of the tape. It just says it all, doesn't it?
yeah.
But so me and Steve were on about that when we were like inebriated in Walkabout. And I said and this was before the guests had been announced for Showmasters Comic Con in London. Mm-hmm. And I'd said to Steve, do you think JDF and Punk are going to actually have a match then? And he was going, ask Jason yourself, he's coming over to London with me in a few months' time, and I'll introduce you. So, and that was for the Showmasters Comic Con. It's a featured image on my Facebook. I will dig it out. But essentially, I went to Showmasters Comic Con that year. As I say, fair few years back, and I ended up in a selfie shot with Jason David Frank, Jason Faunt, Erin Cahill, who was Jen, the Pink Time Force Ranger. Obviously, Jason Faunt was Wes, the red one. Obviously, Steve Cardenas being Rocky, and Jason David Frank and Jason David Frank's daughter, and then me. That's all that's on this shot.
Nice.
And it was just where he was like filming his filming bits for his My Morphin Life series that he was doing at the time. And it was basically like he'd been introduced. We didn't have time for an interview. But he was like, come on over, come on, you get in on this. And then he posted on Instagram, and it was all like great catching up with old friends and meeting new ones. And he's like, that's awesome, because I'm the only one that he's met today. That picture. So I was like, yeah, that's proper sound. And Jason, JDF, if you're watching this, you never return my calls. But I am just scrolling to find the picture now as well, because it is
could
awesome.
have been such a beautiful bromance.
It could have been. It really could have been. Like, I would have been so good for him. Here we go.
I met Jason at that con.
That is not showing up at all, is it? There we go.
Oh yeah.
See
There
my
you
little
are.
face in the top corner.
Yeah.
So I'll just talk over it so that the viewers can see this picture. But yeah, see Rocky at the bottom, Tommy on the side, Tommy's daughter behind his head. There's Jason Thornton there and Erin Cahill, and my good face in the
I
top
will
there.
admit, the expression on your face, it looks almost like you've been pushed into the photo, and you're like, "Why the fuck am I here?"
That was it. Yeah, it was literally just like, why have I been summoned into this?
Just like,
That's the
But we
kind of
had
time where you don't question it, you just do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the last time we went to one of the London cons, we also did an interview with Selwyn Ward. If I can get this up, there we go. There's TJ and my mate photobombed at the last minute. So yeah, we've just got my mate Rish's face there. So yeah, but Selwyn was awesome. There's an interview with him up on our website from a few years back, and yeah, great times at conventions. So yeah, obviously topical. So
I met Jason, David, Frank at that one, and I was very, very drunk when I met him at that point. It was at the end of the day, and his team was they were trying to leave with him, and there was me harassing him for a picture, and he stopped for a picture, but then he stayed with us for about 10 minutes talking, and he was generally, his team were like, we need to get in. He said, no, just give me a minute, and he was one of the nicest guys we met all day. He was just, I think he was really happy to meet a couple of pissheads as well at a convention.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. I mean, I remember I interviewed Steve Cardenas at that convention, and JDF kept leaning in, and everything. And as soon as we were done, he was like, "Oh yeah, come over here." And then the convention team, this was Showmasters, team for the convention are really difficult to work with when you're trying to get an interview, because they don't do the press rooms like MCM do, and you have to go to the team members that are near the guests to request an interview. They go to the guests, and then they'll say yes or no. But sometimes they can go, "Oh no, it's too busy, you can't." So JDF was all up for an interview, and they just went no.
oh,
So, you bastard Showmasters. But there was a few others I met there. They met Cameron Jabo, who played Orion the Silver Ranger. He was awesome. Met Peter Marie Rickson, who was Alpha 5 in the movie. Yeah, conventions are great. I've met so many awesome people.
I'm definitely looking forward to going to my first ever convention, and
Me too.
it's even more special that I get to go with friends and work colleagues.
And the cast, the podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Get to go with the podcast, my co-workers, my colleagues, my friends.
Are you doing both days or just the one day?
I'm doing both. I don't know about Guy or Cali, but I'm
doing
100% doing
If
both.
I can afford it, I'll do both.
Thing is, the ticket means we can come and go as and when we want over there. So yeah, I'm going all weekend. So yeah. Did you say you were, Guy?
No, I'm gonna go one.
Fair enough. Are you doing the Saturday?
Yeah, because I've got a
You
gig.
got a gig in the evening, haven't you? Yeah.
Yeah, so
I'll do
Cheap
both
plug.
days if I can.
Where's that gig? What time does it start? And how much is it to get in?
it's a private party.
Ah,
Oh,
I'm doing a corporate, so
fair enough.
sorry, there's an ambulance going.
Right.
past.
but it's all right.
Oh, money, money, money.
Money indeed.
Yeah, I
Drinks
gotta-
for
I
our guy this week then.
Hmm?
I gotta relook at my
Thanks for our
schedule,
guy
see if I
this
can get
week,
down for the
though.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Well, if you can, let us know, because obviously we'll just meet up with you. So
Yes, definitely.
I know you said you were working that weekend, weren't you, with another event? So
I'm doing fireworks that weekend.
all right, nice.
I'm part of the fireworks, and I do pyrotechnics as well as
Oh,
wrestling.
well, I
and
hope you have a
everything
blast.
else.
Oh, sweet.
It's good fun blowing stuff up for a living.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
You can imagine. Yeah. To be fair, that's pretty damn cool. So, but
Everyone's got a better job than me. Sucks.
sorry, man.
Can't
Yes.
help it.
It's my fault. Should have done better in school.
We won't go there.
It's just killed the
Yeah,
conversation
up.
dead.
That's what I do.
Fair enough. But yeah, you'll all enjoy it. And also, Guy, I've remembered that we had a deal months back on one of these very episodes when we were recorded, the first one you were on or the second one you were on, and you were saying about Pudgy Pig, how that you want that to be your first thing. And I said, if we get press for MCM and we see one, I will get you one, provided that it's not overpriced. So remind me of that on the day. We'll even film that shit for the channel so that people know I actually like. so I can't weasel out of it.
And then we can film Guy's reaction of him sitting there crying, going, "I got a plushy pig."
If we see one, if I spot one on the stall, I'm going to say to you, Cali, I'll be like, right,
I'll distract him.
You distract him. I'll go grab it, and then we're like, Guy, turn around.
To be fair,
Friend.
I'd actually forgotten about that.
Yeah, no, I remembered. I will try. So
You just conned yourself.
Eh.
I'd forgotten about that.
it's all right. I said it on here.
I've been asleep since then.
If we get to like the episode where we talk about whatever we got up to at the Comic Con, which for the benefit of the listeners on Spotify may just be a YouTube video because there might not be any Ranger guests, so it might not be something that we end up having an episode talking about. But
It might be just us fucking around.
Yeah, which would be great, to be fair. I mean, I've got loads of those sorts of videos and they're always fun. So
Exactly.
there's all different manner of guests there. We're going to be doing, I'm assuming, the same thing that Ben's going to be doing on his channel from yesterday's stuff of just channel's going to be full of interviews. It's going to be great. So speaking of channels, Ben.
I was going to say I've got my interviews up today.
Have you?
Yeah, I managed to. I edited it and managed to get it uploaded. So yeah, on the Lost World of Movie Props YouTube, there's my poorly sounded interviews because everyone else had their nice posh microphones, and I ordered one and it come through broken. So I was just like, I haven't even got a microphone.
Well, I've just clicked to receive all notifications of your channel. So you already subscribed, but annoyingly, it didn't tell me you got anything. So now,
mine hasn't either. I'm gonna have to check mine. Naughty YouTube.
Yeah,
Rory, put a link in the show notes.
Yes,
I will. And for the benefit of the view, no, the noise is so loud. It's nearly lost an ear. But for the benefit of those watching at home, it is all on there. There's Ben's head. Nice. Well, it's just nice around. There we go. We can see some of the press rooms and stuff like that.
Nice.
The sort of thing that me, Guy, and Cali have got to look forward to. It's not showing up well on here, is it?
There we go. There we go. Yeah. So I'll put a link in the description. I've also just thrown you a thumbs up, Ben, and I'll watch it properly in a bit as well. But yeah,
I totally missed it. That's what she said when he said, "There's Ben's head."
Just peeking up at the bottom.
Cali's gone again.
It's like a challenge each episode now to see who can make me laugh the most.
Probably. To be fair, that's when we were doing the retrospective one last week, where we were saying about like favorite moments, and a lot of us were saying that we enjoyed the ones where we basically just the professionalism sort of goes, and we've gone back to the thing like chatting as pals, and that's basically what's happening on this one. It's been great. We've been as informative as we can about stuff, but then we've just like devolved into several different tangents, and it's been awesome.
We've thrown out some action figure news. What more do you want?
I said.
The Power Rangers podcast. I mean, what do you want? Power Rangers content? Get real.
To be fair, every time you talk is Power Rangers content because they're behind your shoulder, so you can talk about anything, but they're there. They're on the screen. And there's a Megazord behind me too, so I would say
there you go.
That's it. We're covered.
Disclaimer.
Guy to get a Dragon Zord and Ben to have a Tiger Zord, and we've got each of us will have something in the background.
You know, I've just thought of the perfect thing. Guy, just say something so that the viewers can see your backdrop.
Oh, okay. Hello, I'm saying something so you can see my backdrop.
Very good. All those glasses, I think you should smash half of them and have Dragon Zord rising from it when you find a cheap one at the Comic Con.
Oh yeah, that's great. That's another free to ball.
Dragon Zord smashing shit out of those glasses.
Out the cupboard door. And that was Guy's perfect impression of a Dragon Zord.
Indeed.
Note for note.
Yeah, but did you also happen to notice that those Dragon Zord noises in the show are the exact same ones that were on Ricky Steamboat's entrance music?
Yes, I did notice that. I did.
Yes.
You're right. I
It all comes together. It all comes back to pro wrestling.
Watching WrestleMania 2, and no, it wasn't WrestleMania 2. It was a bit later on, and all of a sudden you said that she was like, "What?" He came out with his fire.
That's it.
There was another wrestler who had I swear he had the Dragon Zord noises as his entrance It was a Japanese one. He slipped on his cape at WrestleMania as he walked out.
Oh, so not Shockmaster.
I know what you mean.
I swear, because he had noises. Was it Ultimo Dragon or something? He was called.
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
It was
Ultimo Dragon.
Dragon.
Yes, I remember that guy.
Just want to also throw out a thing which was awesome. As followers of the channel will know, we've had like quite a lot of history with Impact Wrestling in general. It was Bound for Glory this weekend. Me and Ben spoke to Steve Macklin, which is also available on the channel, about his X Division title match. This is relevant to what we were just saying. Essentially, the X Division title match ended up with the third person being a guy called El Fantasmo. Now, El Fantasmo is someone that used to wrestle a hell of a lot in the UK. And I've met him on multiple occasions, one for WrestleGate. And the most notable one was when Impact sent Team Venom front row seats to go and see Impact versus the UK at the WrestleMedia Con a few years back. And it featured Jushin Thunder Liger's last ever match in the UK. And he was against El Fantasma, who was at Bound for Glory this weekend. And Jushin Thunder Liger was a wrestler that was based on an anime. And his theme music is amazing because it's his theme music up until he retired the other year was the same as the 80s anime music. And I would insert it on here, but when we put the Zoy Ranger theme on here, we got a copyright claim against us. So I'm going to send you all a link to it because it's amazing. But yeah, and you can buy Jushin Thunder Liger action figures made by the same company that made the original Power Rangers figures. So they're all in scale with the Megazords. You can get a Thunder Liger to fight Dragonzord. And I think that needs to go in Guy's cabinet.
Yeah.
Took me a while to get to where the relevancy was there, and went around the houses a little bit there with that story. But it all worked out fine.
You see, it's the obvious link between pro wrestling and Power Rangers.
Yeah. To be fair,
Yep,
I'm
Power Rangers related, so it's allowed, it's agreed, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's not that we ever go off on tangents on this show.
No,
Not at all.
No, not at all in the slightest.
No, I'll have to remind me to tell you about the story of when I went to Wade Barrett's cousin's wedding.
Yeah, you will have to tell me about that at some point because that sounds pretty awesome. Was Wade there?
No, unfortunately not. He couldn't come.
Did he have some bad news for you that he couldn't turn up to the wedding?
Yeah.
Sorry.
But I met his brother and his parents, and his brother is just as big.
Nice.
Yeah, it was all great until I had to stand next to him at the urinal.
Oh, well, while on the subject of no, I'm sorry, I've just confused myself. Right, while I remember because of crossovers and stuff, we did I did these free comics, which are basically giveaways for people that do certain things that we're trying to boost up. And I said that I was giving 5 away when I hit 850 subscribers. When we hit 850 subscribers on the YouTube channel, we're on 983 at time of this, and literally one person has entered the competition and sent me screenshots to say, yeah, we've liked your page and subscribed. So we've gone way past that goalpost, and one person has said it, and that guy is a guy called Steve Jackson. So Steve, one of these will be on the way to you. I've dropped you a message, so send me your postal address and we'll send it to you.
Steve Jackson, we salute you, sir.
Oh yes, congratulations, Hearn.
But yeah, so I've got 4 more that should be going out because of hitting 850. Just one person's officially entered it. It's mad. I don't know, like the likes and subscribers have gone up, but YouTube doesn't show you all your subscribers. So I have no idea who has and hasn't because no one's entered the competition properly. No one's sent apart from Steve. So Steve's won. Well done, Steve.
Everyone enter. Come on.
Maybe we should ask a question and people have to answer it in the comments.
I did that first and no one did. So
Oh, I don't know then.
Can I make this my official entry then?
Pardon?
Can I make this my official entry?
You're getting one anyway, man.
You can't have 2, don't be greedy.
Literally everyone who works on this podcast gets one. It's going to go with your t-shirts when they get sent out. Also, speaking of the t-shirts, these wonderful shirts were courtesy of Aiden's Books in Burton-on-Trent, a bookstore and a t-shirt printing company.
Right here in Burton-on-Trent.
In the market, which is soon to be turned into a library, which is a whole issue that's
Let's not
Yeah,
get
don't
started
get
on
into that.
that.
Don't get into that.
I know it's like it's seriously taken the town by storm.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're not talking about that because I don't really care about it.
Anyway, so Power Ranger conventions then. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yes. Notice how Cali always drags us
in
back.
general.
Well, Guy and Cali, you guys haven't been to any previous Power Ranger
No,
conventions.
so we have no stories.
Or Comic Cons. Ben, you've been to those. I've been to those. So I'm going to throw a question out to Ben. Ben, what has been who has been your favorite guest of all time to meet at a convention?
Oh, geez, I've met so many people at conventions. I think I got a good story about one I met. Steven Seagal was at one of the conventions.
Nice.
And he had a proper entourage with him and his security and that, and they were marching him to the back area, and they left this little gap, and I just stepped through them all, and he looked around, and there was just me in between his whole team, and I just went, "Can I get a quick picture, please?" And he just looked at me like, "Go on then," and just did this little picture, and then they threw me back out. As they were walking away, he was telling his security off like, "How dare you let someone into my little circle?" It was so funny.
Yeah, you'd think if anything that should make Steven Seagal hire you for his security. You've just
Yeah,
beat them all.
bypass them all.
It's trial by fire, isn't it?
I mean, I met the original Dukes of Hazzard as well. I was having a few beers.
Oh,
They
wow.
were all at a table together drinking, so I just went over and just chatted to them, got a picture of all of them, and they were really nice just to meet and that. But it's
I'd love
always
to
good
have
just
met them.
meeting them,
Oh, that's
especially at the end of the day. They're all just sort of they've done their job, so they're all sort of relaxing around the tables a bit
Yeah.
more. You can go talk to them properly and see people and that, and that's always the best time to talk to people.
They're just good old boys.
Mm.
Never meaning no harm.
You were saying about JDF. Have you got any other stories from other Power Rangers that you've met at conventions? I haven't got any because I've name dropped all of them in that one story.
Yeah.
Oh, I've met a couple. There's in your picture you showed the guy with the red t-shirt. What's his name again?
Jason Thorne.
That's it.
Wes.
I've met him. Yeah, I met him.
Yeah, same year, wouldn't it?
That was the same year he was there. I met him, but at that point, me and my friend Scott were really drunk at that point, and he wouldn't do any pictures. And I was like, "Oh, Carl, look, my mate's a really big fan of yours. I'm not worried about a picture, but he is." And he was like, "Yeah, go on then."
Secretly, like, fucking yes.
I managed to get my mate a picture of him. But yeah, he was really nice as well. They're all really nice at these conventions. It's just a lot of fun, especially seeing people dressed up in their cosplays as Power Rangers, because people
there's some
go
cool ones.
all the way for it. They've got
Mm.
everything to think of.
Yeah, did you? Because you were at the same one I was, obviously with the JDF and stuff. I remember bumping into a whole group of Ninjetti Rangers.
Yes,
you see
I
them?
remember seeing.
Literally movie accurate ones as well, not the suit, not the show ones. So the ones that were more expensive to wear.
Yeah.
There was all those. I can remember seeing. There's always like a black and red ranger wandering around with the dragon shield. See that of every convention, which is awesome. In fact, if any of the viewers or listeners follow the Team Venom Media Facebook page, facebook.com/Team Venom Media, there's a photo gallery from virtually every MCM Con that we've been to in the past, and all of them feature a red ranger with a dragon shield on.
I did see a really out of shape Power Ranger at MCM.
I've seen some of them. Yeah.
He was like proper slumped over, huge belly, just like walking. He looked like a Power Ranger who had given up the ghost sort of thing. He was just, it was brilliant. Like,
Well, that sounds like Austin Job.
Ooh, well, we're not going to get him on the cast now.
Only kidding. Austin, we love you.
Oh, nice one, guy. Nice.
All of you.
Rory. Cali's gone again.
Oh, shit. We're going to get a cease and desist, I swear.
So, this has been episode 11.
This has been the last episode of the Power Rangers podcast.
it's been nice knowing you guys.
Yeah, so this has been episode 11. We'll sound off.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be back next week, but we're not entirely sure.
We shall. Well, next week's Halloween, isn't it? So we're going to be
Yes.
doing an episode dedicated to all things spooky and evil in the Power Ranger series, which
Nice.
literally every episode has a new monster in. So, you know,
But there
should
have
be able to
actually
name
been
at least 5
quite a
that
few
we've got.
Halloween specials. So, I mean, we could look at some of those in more detail or whatever.
Yeah, well, we're going to focus on anything that was remotely scary, Halloween specials, like you say, favorite monsters, that sort of thing. And when I say focus on it, I mean, we're going to have an idea that we're going to talk about that, and then we're going to go off on tangents, and 40 minutes are going to have flown by without us knowing.
That
Or an
sounds
hour.
bad.
We've talked about
case.
one monster.
Yeah.
Are we going to feature the haunted Power Ranger toy?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, we gotta do that.
No, we need to get.
Got to do something with that.
Yeah. Once this episode drops, Paul, if you're watching this back, which you should be, for research
Yes.
and solidarity, please slap a camera on your haunted Power Ranger figure, leave it recording for as long as you can until we get the footage of it dropping, and we'll slap it in the episode.
Trini, you
Because it'll be
slow.
on Halloween, the episode, won't it?
That'll be actually Halloween night itself.
Yeah, that's the night we'll be recording.
So, provided if we've only got to put that one clip in, I'll be able to get it out that same evening. Yay!
Hey,
so yeah. So anyway, thanks, folks. It's been awesome, and yeah, we'll see anyone who is going at the MCM N.E.C convention on the 13th of November and also the 14th. Glad that you had a great time there in the London one, Ben, which was yesterday on the 23rd of October. And obviously, the Hasbro PulseCon had some great news that we all enjoyed, which was on the 22nd of October. So hit those key dates in there so that people can search for them. And
yeah,
thank
any
you
of
for
our
watching or
subscribers,
listening.
come say hello.
Yes, indeed. And you'll know who we are because we'll all be wandering around together in these shirts.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, yeah. Peace out.
See ya.
Goodbye, everyone.